It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Henry. And some room to work. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. 13 yards on the return there after a punt of 57. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he powers his way up past the 30. Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Our game here, the Vikings and Eagles, the second of 2 on this Monday night. The Titans and Bills kicked off a little over an hour ago up in Buffalo. And this, our only Monday night doubleheader of the season, but rumor is might have a few more for 2023. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Had to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Jones now throwing on 4th down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage. This time a sack. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads.
Touchdown, Eagles! Mark Andrews His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Throwing Jones. He's got Derrick Henry again, back-to-back catches. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Now Jones. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he's got this down to the 35. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 50 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. That's caught by Hollister. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now for the 1st and goal.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cooper Kupp, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Vikings have got it back to within a score. Point after, right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They run wide side with Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Throwing on first down. Jones looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, here's Henry. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
From the gun on third down, Jones flushed out right. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Derrick Henry, 32 yards. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Taken in at the 3. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Stafford. A quick pass to Cup. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stafford. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's got this down to the 35. Stafford looks to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
From the red zone now, Stafford. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
Cooper Kupp,
his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
The extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. Meanwhile, Jones' throw taken in there by Cooks.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then they don't come down with the football.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Jones eluding the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw again. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line. Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least. Up the middle, Jones. And he's got room. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 67 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Stafford. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And inside give to Jones. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Higbee. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 21. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The end result, 21 yards. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack on 1st down, Jones.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Jones throwing on 3rd and long. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 12-yard line. So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
Man, you're getting deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality on that throw.
That goes for a gain of 31.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. Running on 1st down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Steps away to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 86 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now this throw caught left side. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Vikings have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception. And Henry's hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the 29, Jones. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Jones. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 40 now on second down. Jones. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
105 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Aaron Jones, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
From the 6. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And, boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics, he's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside player.
4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Jones. This will go to Henry out wide. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Oh, wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Eagles have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
From up near the 40 now, after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. A give to Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Alexander Johnson. And the Eagles are right back in
this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Jones throw into the hands of Andrews.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Now Jones. And he'll go right back to Andrews.
And he's got this down to the 35. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Jones.
He dumps it off for Henry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
5 yards remain on second down. To throw is Jones.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side.
And oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Jones.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Jones.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions. Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Vikings, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.